Hello, welcome back everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you're at. Welcome back to the Ghost Galaxy coverage of the 2024 Rochester Vault Tour here. We're going to get started this morning here with the finals for Alliance. Hello, Jupiter. Hello, Philippe. So I do have a little bit of information about this. Quite exciting. We're going to have a June. June is playing against Capmarrow, also known as Zen. So it's my understanding that both these decks are well known to both these players, and it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. I will try my best here to get them pulled up for myself so I can have a look. But they have certainly some interesting things going on nonetheless. Oh my goodness, my computer is not being so happy right now. So just for y'all, the schedule for today, as I understand it, is we're going to be starting off with the Alliance finals. So again, Alliance, for those who are not familiar, this is players bring 3 decks, not necessarily 3 decks, three house pods from the same set. There are some card restrictions, so you can't have certain combinations of cards within those pods, or more than one card from the restricted list put together, and yeah, put them together to make a deck and play that. So that's what we've got going on here. Let's head over to the table, and I think they are getting started right now. I've got to find stuff to click. There we go. I got a dice. They're rolling the dice. And that lovely Vault Tour champion Roseville map that June is rocking. Oh yeah, I was going to try and figure out the decks that they're playing. And maybe if I can actually grab them, I'll hop on and put them in chat for folks to have a look at. Apparently, need to update Discord on my computer, so it's going to take a second. Oh yeah. So the as I was saying earlier, the plan for today is we're going to do the sealed. I'm sorry, not the sealed. The alliance. Oh, come on, computer. Pull it together. We're gonna have the sealed. Keep saying sealed. We're gonna have the alliance finals right now. So that is a best of three. Getting the fist bumps. Oh, look at the the suspense. We have the best of three alliance happening right now. Alliance finals. Currently, with this, we have the Archon top eight. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. And so after we're done with coverage of the alliance finals here, we'll hop on over to join up with whatever's happening left of the top cuts. I think perhaps there's a situation where we move right into the Archon finals. Very nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh, my nerves. Oh. Just the suspense was a thing of beauty. And we are off to the races. June is rocking a pretty fancy deck here. A very interesting combo here. So we've got Geistoid, Mars, and Star Alliance. The Geistoid has a couple boos, got an Ecto Charge, Well of Memory, a couple Winds of Death. And the Mars has a couple key abductions, a bunch of stuff you like to see, some target indixels, some ability to recover some stuff from the archives. Not from the archives, from the discard pile. But the real interesting part in this all is the Star Alliance, and sort of the thing that makes this deck work is a set of multi-dimensional rescues, which is a Star Alliance rare card. I'll just go ahead and read that off here while they're getting started situating their hands to start. It says, return one card of each type, action, artifact, creature, upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. For the remainder of the turn, you may play a non-Star Alliance card, Purge Multi-Dimensional Rescue. So it's sort of a like phase shift, a fancy phase shift. So it's a playability on this action. So it has two of those, and then the other important bit is the Missile Officer Myers, which has the scrap effect. Discard a card from your hand, resolve its play effect as if you had just played it. So you're not actually playing the card that you're resolving, and Missile Officer Myers is in the discard pile when the scrap takes effect. So you can play the ability of the multi-dimensional rescue, and then return the Missile Officer Myers to your hand. And because it's like it's not a rule of 6, because you're just discarding a card, and then you're just resolving a play effect. You're not actually playing a card. So, anyways, it's basically an infinite combo. It's basically an infinite combo, and then to boot, it also gives effectively a phase shift on top of it. So the I think the deck can forge 6 keys in a turn, and that's really only restricted by the maybe it could be 7. Well, so there's it has the key abductions, so maybe it's 6 or 7. I don't know. We do see Cat Marrow come down with a near future lens to start off the turn, to start off the game rather. I think that was a turn 1 near future lens. And then it looks like we're going to get a Ulfbert device. And I was chatting briefly with June before this game, and she was saying that that the Ulfbert device and there's another card. Ulfbert device and is it Befuddle? Is basically a lockout. So I think that is going to be an avenue that Cat Marrow is going to be looking at to try and prevent the prevent the silliness from happening here. The silliness being the sweet combo that June has going on. All right, good news, everyone. I have managed to access my laptop on Discord, so I can pull these links. It only took this entire time. Install Linux, they said. It'll be easy, they said. It's free, so long as you don't value your time worth anything. So definitely a strong start for Cat Marrow, getting the Near Future Lens out. There's also a Near Future Lens in Equidon, and then we've got a Make It So, a Legacy Make It So in Star Alliance. Make It So saying, choose a house, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card belongs to the chosen house, draw it and trigger this effect again. So obviously some very nice value there when you can just see the top card of your deck at all times. Basically, you know, that's pretty much just draw whatever's left in your deck. Yeah, June did mention these are both, I think, constructions of hers. There's, I think, some collaboration, at least with, I think it was the Equidon, maybe, from Dave Cordero. The Equidon from Cat Marrow's deck. The Make It So lists is only hers and Dave C. Okay. Oh, the only ones that exist in the world. Okay. All right, so we do see the multi-dimensional rescue come out. And this is, of course, the finals. So, yeah, we're doing a best of 3. And whoever wins this matchup will be the Alliance champion here in Rochester, New York. Oh, I didn't see the modification, June's modification to the map.
Judge, take this. It's going to be bad for a best of 3. 5 cards. Understood.
All right, I gotta pay attention to this game. Too many other things going on. I will say just another note. Simultaneous to this happening, we do have the Archon top 8 going on. We got a Retro Technician Lee. Is that right? No. Nope. Yeah. Was that Retro? I don't know. What is that? That's what that looks like. Where is that? That's not. No, that's not Miss Officer Myers. Oh, there it is. I see it on the list. It is Retro Technician Lee. It was just showing up as having an enhancement. Got it. Yeah, so it looks like there's a discard pip on the Retro Technician Lee. So playing the
Sure, I accept.
playing the target off of Retro Technician Lee.
You know which is which, right?
I think it's June's deck is definitely a type of situation that it's sort of just outside of locking her out of being able to play it. It's really just more of a matter of time until it eventually happens. So the question is, can the lockout happen before then? In the case of Cat Marrow's deck, can the lockout happen before then, or because the deck can just forge keys. You know, it doesn't matter how many keys it has, or how many keys you have, as long as you only have 2. Yeah, you're still in danger of losing the game. It certainly is an interesting set of interactions because you're not resolving either of the cards in the loop, being Missile Officer Myers or the multi-dimensional rescue. So as such, they don't they aren't restricted by a rule of the rule of 6. And for those who are new to KeyForge or didn't know didn't know, the rule of 6 is just kind of a blanket rule in place for playing or activating cards. You can only do that 6 times for a card of any named type. Basically, the name of any card. Now that is currently restricted to playing or activating a creature, so using it to reap or fight or action or whatever. But the specific interaction that we have going here in June's deck is neither of those things. It is discarding a card to gain a scrap effect. Discarding a card to gain the scrap effect, and that the scrap effect isn't affected by rule of 6. The discard isn't affected by rule of 6. And then the specific interaction from Missile Officer Myers is you resolve the play effect of a neighboring creature. I'm sorry, you discard a card from your hand, resolve its play effect as if you had just played it. I guess that gets around the fact that you're not actually playing the card, you're merely resolving the play effect. I think this is also something it's not like something that's gonna you're not gonna go to another event and just see everyone playing this particular combo, because it is two specific rares. Now, I suppose the thing is it really does only require the 2 specific rares, and then a Mars house with some type of key abduction or whatever. But it does, this deck does seem to be well geared towards accessing that combo, finding ways to get to it. Yeah, scrap effect does also get around befuddle. That's a great point. Befuddle, of course, the untamed action. I'm sorry, not untamed. The unfathomable action that says, choose a house on your opponent's identity card. During their next turn, they cannot play cards of other houses. So again, Missile Officer Myers, you're not playing it. You're discarding it. It's a scrap effect, and you are also not even playing the cards from your discard pile. You are just resolving the play effects. Yeah. So in this matchup, the Ulfbert device is going to be critical. It says each player cannot choose the same active house they chose on their previous turn. I'm not sure I fully. I'm not sure I fully understand the befuddle situation. Jupiter says the reason the device is the main key to the full lock, so you befuddle to the house they choose. You have to describe it to me like I have never seen a KeyForge card before. It says so. Ulfbert device says each player cannot choose the same active house they chose on their previous turn. That makes sense. Befuddle says choose a house on your opponent's identity card. During their next turn, they cannot play cards of other houses. Oh, I see. Hmm. Well, the good news for Katmaro is the pieces are there. The pieces are there. We got the double near future lens activated. We have the Ulfbert device on the board. Yeah, so you're trapped in that house with nothing to play. Seems fair. To be fair, I think it's works both ways, right, Jupiter? Both decks obviously have some incredibly potent combinations, and it's very likely what helped to get these players here. In addition to having been able to construct these decks and successfully pilot them through the earlier rounds. They're both busted. Well, so with the multi-dimensional rescue, you return one card of each type, action, artifact, creature, upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. For the remainder of your turn, you may play a non-Star Lance card. So you can return the Missile Officer Myers and a Key Abduction. Then you can play the Key Abduction. Then you can... is that right? Yeah, then you... Yeah. Then you just re-discard Missile Officer Myers to use the play ability or the play effect of multi-dimensional rescue again. I see a comment asking about June playing cards upside down. It's just a way that some folks play to make it a little easier for their opponents to keep track of the board state. It's especially useful with newer players. Which to clarify, Cat Marrow is not a newer player. I'm not saying that, but especially in high pressure situations like this, you'd hate to have your opponent make a misplay because they didn't read something correctly or whatever. So reducing chances of that happen. And these two are pals, so they're definitely looking to have as good a series as possible.
Star Alliance. You will not be permitted to play Star Alliance in my next turn.
And the reality is, I would suspect June has a large number of reps with this deck. So she undoubtedly knows all the cards very well.
I will play Mark. Creature. Will not be archived. Conditions are not met. The top card of my deck.
Right. So Cat Marrow. Playing out some Star Alliance, it looks like here. We have the Scout. The Scout excuse me, create a token here.
Yeah, draw first because of friendly guide.
What is the token? The token is Trader. So all those cards that are upside down, or face down, I should say, are traders. So Ecodon creature 1 power with the action steal 1, destroy trader. And that's pretty cool, especially with the double future lens, because you get potential access to more play targets. Near future lens being the pretty swanky artifact, which was, I guess, so in Winds of Exchange it would have been an anomaly, so an anomaly slot. But in Grim Reminders, is it common, uncommon? It's got to be uncommon. Anyways, it says play with the top card of your deck revealed. So if you can see, kind of bottom rightish to the screen, you see Cat Marrow's Archon card flipped up, and then to the right of that is actually their draw pile with the top card flipped up. Yeah, that's a fair point, Philippe. The Fathom Reaver. Fathom Reaver. It just makes 1 token creature, right? Yeah, I think it's probably fine, right? Because Oh, I see. I got it. I see what you're saying. So near future lens, the Fathom Reaver, which then creates tokenizes the card underneath that. So a little bit risky, but you've also got to be, pretty worried here. As I mentioned earlier, it's really only a matter of time until June collects all the pieces. Oh, is that one of the befuddles?
Top card of my deck is Weaklink. Ending my turn. Passing to you. You cannot play Housegeister.
I'm going to look at my Archon.
Oh, I see that was the draw at the end. So when you have near future lens out, you actually, every single card you draw into your hand at the end of your turn is revealed. So June now has the knowledge that there's at least a befuddle in hand. Jupiter, I assume you tried to actually link the decks and sort of expected didn't let you. Yeah, I don't think they actually showed up. Let me see if I can. I suspect they might be moderated. I don't know. Maybe I can click something here. Live chat. There we go.
I will go Mars.
Yeah, didn't like it.
I missed my trigger. My Archons.
Oh yeah, so I actually have them. I just. Yeah, well, I'll just use them best I can here. Sorry. Looks like they're getting moderated out of the chat, which is, to be fair, that's fine. That's good. I'm glad that happens. No, it's still not working. All right, so looks like we're getting a Mars turn, playing out the key abduction, counting out some cards. Oh yeah, pulling up the target, paying 1 ember to forge a key. Are there in fact any keys? Oh, are they? That's funny. Her keys are vault tour pins. There you go. So it looks like that's good to know. I was wondering where the keys are, but June's got 2 keys. It looks like 2 keys to Cat Marrow's 1, to Cat Marrow 0 rather. And then plays out the target to re-archive the key abduction.
I'll play with house. Unfathomable.
Oh, that's cool. So using the token, June's using the token on her Archon cards over there to track which house she can't currently play. Due to the Ulfbert device, that is. Cat Marrow taking an unfathomable turn, starting out with an Abyssal Sight, taking out a token creature, having a Gander at June's hand. Looks like it's a multi-dimensional rescue that gets discarded. So it doesn't seem like June has drawn into the missile officer yet. Got a, I think that's Toxicuta Venom coming down. Being played on the Fathom Reaver. The Fathom Reaver activated at this point as well. So Fathom Reaver saying, while you control a token creature, your opponent fills their hand to one less card during the draw card step.
I will resolve the amber this as amber, capturing 3 from me. From you, I will capture 3 as well. I will play Weak Link, gaining 1 amber, capturing
And that looks like weak link going across to the Mimet. Interesting. Putting some amber onto the target Indixel. Cool play, knowing that June has the key abduction. So playing a key abduction would return that Mars creature to her hand.
gaining 1 amber. Damage trip, all this goes onto target.
So we do see the Befuddle.
Let's say you can only play cards of House Mars on your next turn.
So Befuddle comes into play,
I will play
saying that
bring that right back.
June cannot play cards of other houses other than
Fathom Reaver.
Mars. Also, June cannot select Mars as their open house, as her open house.
And then I will end my turn, drawing up to we draw D6 momentarily. I have 1 card in hand, so I will be drawing General Zorha.
I think there was a.
Puddle.
Oh, there's another Befuddle. Yeah. So I think that top card of the deck was General Zaorha. So Cat Marrow opting not to play that with a near future lens. I would suspect because of the play effect of General Zaorha, which says for each forged key your opponent has, make a token creature. So yeah, that would essentially make 2 token creatures after Zaorha. And as Philippe mentioned earlier, definitely a risk playing a token generator off the top of your deck with a near future lens, because you don't have control over, you don't have the vision as to what is going to get tokenized. Whereas playing something like one of the Scouts or Fathom Reaver from hand, you can see with the near future lens what is going to get tokenized. Also, just a bit scary with General Zaorha at this point in the game. Even if you played it from hand, it's going to make 2 token creatures. Now, so in order for Make It So to really work here, I think Cat Marrow needs to take another. Actually, no, because there's the Ulfbert device, right? So Cat Marrow cannot call Unfathomable again. So the sequence is like, in terms of getting back to the Befuddle. Cat Marrow is going to have to call. I guess it has to be a different house, right? Can't be Unfathomable. Probably going to have to be Star Alliance, but Make It So won't flip the deck over, right? But there are some token generators on the board, so perhaps
Okay, I will force a 6.
now, because even with the token generations, you need to be able to flip the deck over, right? To be able to get to the point that you can potentially get back to playing a befuddle off the top of your deck with a near future lens.
We will begin
Because one's in the discard. One's in the discard, and I do believe one's in hand.
by reaping Forager, gaining 1 amber.
So it looks like we do see a Star Alliance turn. We're going to get a reap off the Scout Chief Courageer.
Forager,
Second Courageer gets played
dealing the top
for
card
another
of my
token.
deck.
Looks like the last card of the deck here. I wonder if there's no draw
I will
pips.
play Photon Blast. Deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 damage splash. Destroyed. Thank you.
That is Photon Blast.
Make a token creature.
Deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. If this damage destroys 1 or more creatures, make a token creature. Okay, so tokenizing the last
Make it so, resolving the amber
thing there.
as a draw.
And then we have that looks like make it so though, right?
Revealing the top card of my deck.
I guess I don't know how the deck got flipped.
Has the draw pip. Revealing the top card of my deck. And I will begin to resolve make it so. I will choose
'Cause I don't see any
revealing the
card
top card
draw.
of my deck. It is Aqueduct. Choosing house Unfathomable. Choosing house Aqueduct. Star Alliance.
So at this point, Cat Marrow just needs to go until they get to a befuddle on top. There it is.
Skyborn. Not darn.
So
Yep.
so they'll
I will use
presumably call the wrong house there so as to not pick up the befuddle.
near
Then we'll have the near future lens activation to play the befuddle off the top of the deck.
Befuddle, revealing the top card of my deck, resolving it as Amber, dealing a damage pip here. And I will say you can only play cards that have Geistoid on your next turn. I am currently playing House Star Alliance. I'll play Guthrock.
It's Specialist Guthrak hitting the board. 3 power skirmish with a capture ability
I will play first
as an after fight reap.
destroying this. Give the other damage for me, thank you. Making this a token creature, revealing the top card of my deck. I will use near future lens to play KeyForge.
Just a reminder for folks, this is these are the finals, the Alliance finals, so this will be a best of 3.
I will discard Neutrino Warp. I will play Pyro. And then I will reap a friendly guide, gaining 1 amber.
Yeah, I don't see any draw pips in Star Alliance.
And I will end my
I don't see, there's no draw pips in this whole deck. So I'm still not quite sure how the deck flipped. Oh, puzzling trinket. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you got it. Nice. Thank you. So there you go. Puzzling trinket is out on the board. That is beautiful. And for those like me who didn't see that or don't know what it is, it says when you resolve an amber bonus icon, you may choose to resolve it as a capture, damage, or a draw icon instead. So it, in fact, was the Make It So. So Make It So has an Ember Pip on it. So instead of resolving the Ember on Make It So, Cat Marrow resolved it as a draw icon, flipping the deck prior to the the playability of that action being resolved. So really cool play. That's interesting. Ah, we understand now. It's a thing of beauty.
I will Abyssal Sight.
So June pass turn and back on over to Cat Marrow, who of course will be taking a unfathomable turn this time around.
This card and look at your hand.
Destroying a creature with Abyssal Sight to discard another of June's cards.
Discarding Exo cards.
With the Befuddle in hand, we're going to see another Lockout turn.
I will play Befuddle.
Make It So with Near Future Land doesn't require puzzling trinket to draw. Well, so Make It So says choose a house, reveal the top card of your deck. It doesn't say to draw a card.
And then I will
So if you don't have a deck, then Make It So doesn't do anything.
turning Training Frenzy into a token creature.
So you need to flip the deck first. You need to flip the deck before you can actually
Cards you have in hand?
have a functional Make It So.
How many cards do you have in archive?
So a critical component there being the puzzling trinket.
I will then end my turn.
That is super cool though. So this the Star Alliance has a legacy Make It So. Make It So not actually being in set.
And Yampy Ghostfin.
And I mean, this is like, it's really cool to see this pod in action because it's got the legacy Make It So, the Ulfbert device, but also has three token generators. So that works really well with these near future lenses, potentially allowing you to get the best cards to play off those lenses. I mean, just the whole thing, right? I mean, even the Ulfbert device being a rare, Make It So being a rare and a legacy, it's just cool.
Was Dice Toys. Okay, understood.
Like even in an alliance situation, you know, we're looking at pods that are, you know, one of a kind. I suppose pretty you could say basically any pod is one of a kind or close to one of a kind. But this is particularly a particularly stark example of that. So Cat Marrow does get a second key. We'll see
Resolving the Amber.
if they can close this game out. So I think what's got to happen here, right, is you got to try and get the to the Befuddle again. This time through Equidon. I mean, it could have been Star Alliance, I suppose.
Top card of my deck.
So resolving a draw icon there.
With Archon. Oh, and yes, I will purge.
So the deck has, let's see, 2 higher ons. Higher on says make a token creature if there is a combined total of 6 or more Ember between both players' pools. Archive higher on.
I thought the same thing for a
So
moment.
that is a token generator that can pull some stuff off the top of the deck.
I will play.
What's the result in keys? Currently it's 2-2. So June is using Vault Tour pins as keys. You can see right above her archives there on the top left.
Right, sorry. No archive, yes.
Yeah, 3 turns missed by June. I mean, a potential here that we see a third missed turn.
Archon top 4. Archon top 4.
And also make it so is another option, right? If we get to a make it so, then that I would imagine seals the game, right? Because you can near future lens the make it so off the top of the deck to then mill.
Take my time on this turn.
Can any card show up as a legacy, or do they curate them?
Counting my deck.
I think that's my understanding. Pretty much any card can show up as a legacy. There may be things that that are slightly curated, like I don't know. There are things that are there. I mean, there are also other restrictions to certain cards, like X card can't show up with Y card, or X card has to show up with Y card. So, like you will see situations where multiple legacies will be pulled into the same deck together because the slots are available, and the predefining one was required or was put in. So was that 2 tokens? I think that was 2 tokens. Is that Hieron being played? Looked like that's a Hieron. Gets to an abyssal site. It's getting kind of tight here. So there are the 2 near future lenses. So we can get Cat Marrow can get one. I think one more card off the top of the deck, unless they've got access. Yeah, so it's the heart of the cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! Right here. There are 2 card options that work, right? Befuddle, if Befuddle is there, or Make It So. Oh, it is. Oh my goodness, there it is, Befuddle. So we're gonna have the resolution of Abyssal Site first.
I will destroy this.
To destroy a card.
I will look at your hand.
And have a look at June's deck.
I will discard Missile Officer Myers.
Just as a point of note or clarification here, I can't actually hear any of the table noise, so y'all have more information than I do. It is an illusion. It is never heart of the card. It is very controlled. That sounds like someone who doesn't have a heart of the cards.
Can I have enough time, you think, to just go and buy a bottle?
All right, looks like they are calling that a wrap.
Yes. I'm just going to leave this as is for now. We can settle this in a second.
That was game 1.
Endy says, with near future lens, when you draw cards, would you need to show each card to your opponent because yes. So the top card is always visible. So even when you're drawing cards at the end of your turn, you have to reveal one card at a time. Or I think what Cat Marrow has been doing is drawing like all the cards that they need to get back up to hand limit, and then showing those to June. So really cool stuff. Let me go update the overlay really quick.
Yeah, so the Unfathomable is mine, and the Equidon is Dave's. Since we both have the archetype. I believe we're the only ones in the world with the archetype.
Really great first game, though. It seems to me, and I may have missed it in all my yammering and chatting and stuff. It seems to me like June actually was not able to get to the critical component of the Missile Officer Myers. Yeah, no problem, Jupiter. Happy to help. So, concurrent to this event, we have the Archon top 8 happening. So we after this best of 3 is completed, we'll, depending on the timing, I'm not sure if we'll get some other rounds, if we'll get to see some of the other top 8 rounds, or if we'll just go right into the finals of top 8.
I want to show people what KeyForge can do.
Sounds like Southerly Elf is through to the. How does that work? Top 8. So then we have the quarterfinals. Is that right? Semifinals. Top 8. Yeah, I didn't hear. I haven't heard out there that the round is over. And just another point of clarification. This is not timed. The finals, best of 3 finals, are not timed. But the top 8 is still being timed. So I would have expected to hear the round end. I think they're doing 45-minute rounds. So it's team on team violence. I looked briefly at the. I suppose was it Archon's corner that the deck lists were linked to. Jupiter, can you send that to me? For the top 8 deck lists.
The stream is nice, but it is about your game.
Yeah, those tokens were mostly irrelevant anyway.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
most part.
Awesome, thank you.
One that might be
Yeah, we'll be moving over to Archon after the finals here.
back to it somehow.
Wanted to catch the finals, and then we'll hop on over to certainly at least the finals of the top 8s of top 8. Well, of Archon, the finals of Archon. But awesome, thank you, Jupiter.
I think so too. I think yeah, because you had
He's the best
block
around.
bubble sitting on top as long as
Some of my
once you had
some of my pals that I came with were looking at some of these.
coming back to you much harder.
What is this mass mutation deck? This thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Dav with 20 mutants. That is just complete gas. Absolute gas.
Much closer than it probably looked on stream. That's the thing.
One of the. Do you know which list is gone?
Yeah, Myers and Boo were both at the bottom.
All right, let's take a look at this list. Very important. What is the best name? So we've got Plimpton of Cyclolighten Matrix. We have Cecilia, Error-Prone Grounds Professor. That's pretty good. I like that. We have Arya, Pylon Genius. It's also pretty good. Constantino, Ghost Realms Nanny. I mean, it's pretty good too.
Yeah, that was.
We got Pippa Woa, Mainframe Lance Corporal. We got Bandola, Archmage of the Spined Plateau. I think this one might be my favorite so far. Chimera, Hammer. Chimera, Hammer. And then Virus Conquérant de Brefourt. Please don't judge the way I say any of these things. This is the name deck. Oh my gosh, some people just got it. They just got it lucky.
In reference to the fact that Old Ferret knows what happened before he entered the game. Yep. Old Ferret the all-knowing.
Too late, already judged. What's going on, TTR? Justin / Nathan, perhaps Justin, if I'm guessing. Happy to have you here. Wish you were here in person, sitting right next to me, instead of this skull that's actually sitting back behind me. What's up, Mark? How's it going back there, Mark? Actually, I am opening, like to open up votes for the names for the skull back here. My caster, my co-caster. All right, and we're off to the races here. Maybe not quite off to the races. June and Cat Marrow, starting game 2 of this best of three finals. Looks like June's going to hold on to that, and Cat Marrow will take a mulligan.
And Tape and Archon is now single elimination now.
Up until the final.
Lights out.
Y'all were at a wedding. I mean, that's okay too. That's fine. I did see the picture, I think, in your Discord. Y'all were looking dapper.
White shirt, crucifix necklace.
Man, if I ever go to an event and like am anticipating casting or doing commentary, I should like bring a suit. But it's gonna be like a you know, whatever, 3-piece full vest and everything. Yeah.
Unfathomable.
Oh man, this setup is weird. It's like look at this. Check out this. The thing is all the way in the other room. Look at this. I can zoom in. I think I can move stuff too. All right.
Sunk cost, naming dice toy.
All right, we saw a Mars turn. Looks like a discard and a Mars first from June.
Marking number 1.
Oh, let me get back to our deck lists here.
This is 1, this is 6.
Looks like a sunk cost.
Dice toy, so I will name a token creature.
Sunk cost. Choose a house your opponent discards a random card from their hand. If that card belongs to the chosen house, make a token creature. So we see that. We do also see a near future lens come out.
I'm gonna befuddle you.
Oh, and then an early befuddle.
Say Mars. Dealing 1 damage. Destroying planets. Then I will draw up to 6. Teamwork. Weak link.
Near future lens active.
Scout sheet.
So we will see all those cards flipped up before they're added to hand.
Constitute a venom. And I will end my turn and pass to you.
Is it Mars?
This is Mars. You can only play cards from Mars.
Jean-Luc skullduggery. Did Make It So get drawn? And the art on Make It So is pretty cool too.
Okay. I will play with House Star Alliance myself.
Mike.
I will play Scout Sheep Forager. Token.
Oh, there it is. Hits the Make It So.
I will use
So it's just, you think this is just to run it all out?
your future lens.
Live to win till you die. Make It So, number 1.
Gain 1 amber.
So we have the near future lens out. We have
And I can. It's a hard.
Make It So active. So
That's true. But that too, right?
Game's over.
I know.
I'm going to play.
just going big.
I see what this did.
Menagerie Unchained mini tournament.
I'm going to. Sorry. I'm going to play. So I'm going to say it's House Unfathomable. It is.
So is this just a like draw the whole deck situation? I feel like this is just a draw the whole deck situation, right? Because the near future lens is
Unfathomable.
already exhausted from having been used to play
Star Alliance.
the Make It So.
Equidon. Star Alliance.
Oh, you think so? Oh, interesting. So just keep it on a befuddle.
Star Alliance. Unfathomable. Star Alliance. Unfathomable.
So you think coming out of this, let's say Cat Marrow opts to select the whole deck, to play to grab the whole deck.
Equidon.
obviously playing out the other Star Alliance stuff, or at least some component of it, the Ulfbert device. You think the follow-up then is an Equidon turn, get the second near future lens and the puzzling trinket on the board?
Equidon. Star Alliance.
I suppose that would be a point to leave the befuddle on top. So if you've got, they're going to play the Ulfbert device. So long as they've drawn the puzzling trinket, there we go. I think. But I mean, the device can be played right now. The Ulfbert device can be played. I suppose that's true. That's true. It could work either way. You could whichever one you get first. All right, so gonna take it
Equidon.
and grab the whole deck.
It's House Garfieldia.
It's not a house, you fail.
So if I fail, it's not a house. It could be. It should be.
And if you're Cat Marrow, this, I think this is that's how you want that's how you want this game to start, right? That's it right there.
I am in the middle of a Star Alliance turn. Thank you. And then just do this. I'm allowed to reveal my hand to my opponent. I'm not allowed to. It is a hidden zone. Okay.
So basically, if June
It was just drawn with make.
if June has the combo in hand, then she can take it down. She can win this round. But otherwise,
No, I saw the.
otherwise it certainly seems like the engine is in full progress for Cat Marrow.
It is an out of play zone. Thankfully, that was not an unknown card.
Who knows if multi-dimensional rescue's back in my hand or not? I'm fine with it.
And so we do have within Equidon, if Cat Marrow is going to get a follow-up Equidon turn here, the puzzling trinket. Then once that's down, near future lens. Well, there's a couple of we've got like auction off. Well, maybe you wouldn't play auction off. There's some other pips that can be played as draw icons to flip the deck over, and then we do have a befuddle there. And then you'll have the deck flipped with 2 Hierons. Looks like Trading Frenzy has a pip on it as well. So should be able to activate fully the combo next turn.
Capturing one. And then I will end my turn. And pass to you. Ready?
I'm here to tell you that in some strange alternate reality where I somehow made this spot with my my alliance, my janky best of AOA deck would have fallen very short. I'm just here to say that honestly. Now, so Ulfbert device, is that immediate? Each player cannot choose the same active house they chose on their previous turn. So that is immediately active. BR Geist to play a target Indixel to archive one of the multi-dimensional rescues, and then passes turn.
Multi-dimensional sheet is your set. Do you mind if I take you to the start pile? Do you mind? Can't mind. But thank you. Continue.
Well, I can mine, but it's
You
just
can
really
mind,
not
but you
allowed.
can't do anything.
I actually mine everything. I do mind if you draw a card at the end of your turn.
But you just can't prevent it. I understand. Thank you for clarifying.
I do mind if you call Equidon unfathomable 4-star alliance.
Okay. You played Dice Grid last week?
You're allowed to have a Star Alliance.
I'm locked out Star Alliance, so I will choose to play House. Equidon. Yes, Equidon. I will begin by playing uncommon currency. 15 damage.
This feels like a poker game where each player draws 5 cards from the deck and compares hands. Yeah, I mean, I think that the way a lot of these alliance decks have been built are with a very proactive strategy. So, obviously working towards a specific combo. And then the best of these decks seem to be the ones that have the ability to either reliably access that combo or can access that combo or the pieces that are needed to get to that combo. In the case of obviously June, that combo is the glitch in the matrix, the infinite scrap play effect. But for Cat Marrow, it's the control aspect, locking down their opponents.
Still the top card of my deck.
All right, so here we go. As expected, we get the puzzling trinket to come down, near future lens, in resolving the amber pip as a draw icon to flip the deck. Now we're going to see a higher on to tokenize the top card of the deck. That higher on, I believe, gets archived. Yep, because combined the players have 6 or more amber. We do see the befuddle hit the top of the deck, so we'll expect to see near future lens hitting that befuddle.
Play Trading Frenzy, resolving the amber as amber. Cast it for me. I will cast it for you. I will use.
Are they? I don't think they're prospectors. They're traders,
Play Befuddle.
at least as it's listed here.
Deck. I will resolve the amber as amber. The damage as damage because I have to.
Yeah, the 3 decks have fish.
Thanks for knowing this.
One moment.
I'm not cheating.
Internet.
You can help me.
Fish, bot,
I guess it would still be
and
cheating, though,
trader.
right?
So yeah, trader is definitely the option.
It would be sailor to maintain. That's a nicer way to say it. Still playing an Equidon turn. I will play Auction Off.
What cost do you have
Oh, I have befuddled you, excuse me, into Geistoid. Which is the house that you played last turn, so you cannot choose it. I will gain the pip from Auction Off. To purge.
So we'll get the befuddle, another lockout turn.
Giving myself an extra amber because its controller gains 1 extra amber.
So that was auction off. What was actually just auction off? Was it the?
And then I
Is
will
it as
open my
Azure Basin?
and pass to you.
Alright, get the pass turn,
At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
and
7, 8.
sends it over to June.
Mars, start scuba, key abduction, liberator, key abduction.
Understood. So you will have played
Discard some cards, and
and I cannot choose to play as Equinox.
draw some new cards. Passes it back. Looks like we should get the Forge from Cat Marrow.
3, 4, 5, 6. You must be flipped.
Nice choice.
Thank you kindly.
If you play befuddle and have befuddle on top of your deck, I'll concede. Let's just we just start doing that.
Buttle is not on top of my deck.
Not at the same time. At some point in your turn.
This will take a moment.
So we have both the near future lenses on the board as a
Unfathomable this turn.
befuddle in hand. Is there one left in the deck?
I will use near future lens.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Missile Officer Myers can be activated with a discard pip. That's true.
1 amper.
It would have to be,
Unfathomable.
well, you'd have to still be able to play a card, and I think that's the problem,
House, so it fails.
right? You can't resolve the play. You can't resolve a discard pip if you can't play a card.
Can I get a confirmation on that?
Is Garfieldio not? Is
So I think
Garfieldio
so long as Cat Marrow is able to keep getting back around to their,
Selection of tablets.
I'm going to play
keep getting around to their befuddles.
gain 1 amper. Say you can only play cards in House Mars on your next turn.
You mean Archon player forever. Yeah, I mean that's definitely there's definitely certain aspects about a constructed format like this or a pseudo constructed format that I think appeals to some folks, and there are other folks that also prefer Archon. So I think it's nice having the option
Lovely. I'm going
to play how you want.
House Garfieldio.
So I don't know. I feel like there was an auction off that got played earlier, and I don't know what got purged. But it doesn't look like it was the Azure Basin Outpost.
4. It's God damn it.
And we still have both Burnt devices, both near future lenses, and the puzzling trinket. So what else could it have been?
I could choose Brosnar. Really?
The world will never know. Maybe it was an auction off.
What is it actually?
These eyes aren't getting any younger.
I will gain 1 amber, destroying.
Uncommon currency.
I know. It's
Oh,
interesting.
there,
It's
you know.
interesting that you said that.
There,
but I
yep, there it
know
is.
why you said
There it
that.
is. Thank you. Thank you, Devin.
Destroy it.
That's one mystery solved.
I'd like to discard.
So we have an abyssal site. Going unfathomable, of course.
Draw into Myers. Okay.
Must mean that the second befuddle is in hand, or we're going to see a flip.
Yeah. I will play this thing and make a token creature. This thing. Whatever this thing is. I don't know. I have the play effect.
2 of your pods in the finals. Woohoo! Now the question is, are they in the same deck, or are they in both, or is one in each deck?
This. Yes, I will play this. Gain 1. I will actually resolve this draw.
Guys, you all brewing silliness.
And you have nothing to capture.
Nice, nice.
Thank you kindly.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned some disappointment with this format, or some was mentioned earlier, but having played some of the sealed tournament as well. Oh, there's a befuddle. I played against Geistoid turns enough times to have a similar experience where, like, I'm just gonna. Do you mind if I, like, go grab a coffee while things happen currently?
And do you do it before you see the card as well? I believe
No,
so.
because as soon as
Oh, Devin's cooking up something spicy.
it's an elastic effect.
You would like to choose
But if
where
there
it's
was
attached
no
to.
target, it wouldn't ever leave the top of the deck.
That's correct.
So you do have to choose a target first. In order for it to be a valid play.
And be part of the play, yes.
So before you see the next card, you do choose a target, and then you resolve it.
If you would like to choose where it goes, because I didn't declare targets, then by all means.
It's actually a better target. I suggest that one.
Because that's okay. Sure. Thank you for the input. And then I will end my turn.
You all can hear what they're saying. I can't, so I have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you kindly.
You never use the
Oh, MDR gone.
I know. I missed it.
Was it Abyssal Sight?
Thank you so much. I saw what happened. I'm so sorry.
I assume that means that's the end of the game.
never used it.
I think. Again, I can't hear.
Whatever.
Even to read.
It looks like the players have stepped away and
It's fine. Don't worry about
are cleaning up there.
it.
Just notes for next time.
Thank you kindly. I really do appreciate it.
So I think that is
You wanna
likely a concession from June there.
redraw while you know you're able
I think that's a GG from June. I think seeing the befuddle on top of the stack there, ready to be played on a future turn with a near future lens.
In a way.
Cat Marrow sitting on check there to forge key number 2, and on deck to
I think that I got
negate another one of June's turns. It looks like that is the end of that. So congrats to Zen, aka Cat Marrow, on the
obviously not so.
the win there.
I feel like it's
The
like 40, 60-ish.
the Rochester Vault Tour Alliance champion, coming in with a really really nasty lockout deck there, and definitely an interesting. Like it's when you see it all happen, it makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, that I can see that now, but being able to look at these pods and come up with that is really something. That is really something, and being able to, it's interesting. I enjoy the fact that there's there's a little bit of like not variance maybe, but you have to like play into it. It takes intentional play to work out like, okay, well, I've got these near future lenses. I got to think about like, do I need to be playing this card off the top? Do I need to be, tokenizing it? And there's a little bit of a dance that happens with the Ulfbert devices, like self-imposed. self-imposed dance that you have to do, right? Because obviously a big part of the lockout situation are the Ulfbert devices, or is the Ulfbert device, which in turn also makes it so Catmarrow also couldn't play the same house 2 turns in a row. So it just forces you to, jump between Unfathomable and Equidon and find ways to get back to those befuddles, or find a way to get to the other pieces that you need. Now, obviously, I think we saw. I would imagine, having only seen this deck, the 2 games that we just saw, I would imagine that's probably the type of run or turn sequence that you want to happen with this deck, which is to say, the early near future lens. I mean, obviously, I feel like anytime you're playing a deck that has near future lens, you want to get that out early and try and get as much value as you can. But the ideal situation is early near future lens into a make it so, and it's not like, sure, there's some amount of it. It's like, okay, well, it's fortunate if it's like the make it so is higher in the deck. But you look at this Star Alliance, and there's a solid 3 token generators, the triple Scout Chiefs. You've got, I'm sorry, hold on a second. We have one more. Teamwork, so that's a 4th. Photon Blast is a 5th. All right, so you have 5 token generators in Star Alliance. You've got, let's see, you've got the double Hieron. You've got General Zorha. That wouldn't be early game. Yeah, so basically you have the double Hierons in Equidon, but you also have the Puzzling Trinket, which allows you to draw instead of creating tokens. Which, I mean, functionally in this case, what we're looking at is, we want to be able to get to that make it so and effectively draw the rest of the deck. So it's not like this. Oh, it's just like it's so lucky. It's like there's a lot you can do once you get one of those near future lenses down to really, really, chug through your deck and get to the point where you can play the make it so and get everything. I mean, even looking in Unfathomable, we've got Sunk Cost as a potential. But I mean, you have Sunk Cost with like Abyssal Sight, so maybe it's a little more likely. You've got Fathom Reaver. You have, I guess that's it, Fathom Reaver. So maybe a little weak in Unfathomable. You're probably, if you're trying to dig for that make it so, you're more likely hoping to do that in Star Alliance or Equidon. But nonetheless, I mean, really cool to see the deck work in that way. Those sets of cards work in that way together. But yeah, that is going to be it for the Alliance tournament for this weekend. We will be coming at you hopefully shortly with wherever we're at in the top cut. I'm not sure where we're at. I imagine we're partway through the second round for today, which would be I guess the semifinals. Yeah, so 4 down to 2. So we should be having the finals coming up here shortly. And yeah, we'll take a brief break. I'm gonna go catch up with what's going on out there. Maybe I'll see if we can get someone else in here to chat, so it's not just me hanging out with the skull. Okay, so second round is at least partially done because second act won against Southerly Elf, and Southerly Elf had won in top 8 to go to top 4. So we'll be back in just a little bit here. And we'll keep going with some Alliance action here at the Rochester, New York Vault Tour for KeyForge. So we'll be back in just a few. Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to the highly anticipated Archon finals of the Rochester Vault Tour here in, you guessed it, Rochester, New York. We are here at Millennium Games, and boy, what a cool game store! What a great place to host an event like this, and just a great place to be to play KeyForge. Or if you just like board games or any other type of games, this is a pretty cool spot. Highly recommend stopping by if you can get here. Hashtag not a sponsor. Also, Crush, not a sponsor. I am Mordovas. I'm going to be hanging out with you for this best of 3 finals. Let's get over to the table. The players are having a gander. Having a gander at some deck lists here. I also happen to have the deck lists available as well. And we have, in the finals, we have Asobi piloting Cecilia, error-prone grounds professor. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Yep, there's that. Every time I say the deck name, that's going to happen. And then we have Second Act on the bottom part of your screen, piloting Plimpton of Cyclo-Lighten Matrix. I wasn't sure to put the deck names or the houses, but we put the decks on. Feel free to go to the Master Vault, check them out if you'd like to. Let's start with Cecilia. Cecilia is a Geistoid. Actually, let me open them both up here. Cecilia is a Geistoid Mars Untamed deck. We've got some notable bits, being the Future is Past, Winds of Death. This is, in fact, not a Winka deck, though. So it's Geistoid Mars Untamed, has Future is Past and Winds of Death. Does not have a Key Abduction or, let's see. Does it have any? It has a spooky charge. So it does have a key charge. And looks like we've got a Haunting Witch with 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures or so. Also a Mimicry, so some great versatility in the Untamed there. The Mars itself is a target Indixel, double Ironics Rebel, double Dr. Xyloxifrex. We got a distant Void Prober. And some other stuff here. We going back to the Geistoid, we have a couple Junk Restorations, some Dark Lamps, some Thought Callers, a couple of pairs of cards there. Looking over at Second Act's deck, we have Plimpton of a Cyclo-Lighten Matrix. We've got Geistoid, Mars, and Unfathomable, so swapping out the Untamed for the Unfathomable here. This one has some fancy stuff too. Looking at the Geistoid, we've got BR Geist, got a Boo, got some Ecto Charge, some of the usual items you got in here somewhere, Junk Restoration, some Spontaneous Awakening. Importantly, there's a Well of Memory and Island of Misfit Choice. Oh, and we can't miss this. There's a Geistoid Spectral Ruth, so this would be a Revenant. Pretty cool. It says, play if you forged a key this turn. Archive your discard pile. Yeah, you got it. Just archive that whole discard pile. And then when destroyed, if you are haunted, archive Spectral Ruth. So pretty sweet there. I would say pretty sweet. We got some Mars. This Mars does not look particularly unfair. It's got a couple Don't Believe Your Eyes, some Mars Firsts, Brash Grabbers. Doesn't look like it has any Ironics Rebels or anything like that. Then in Unfathomable, looks like we have some Squall Masters, Covetous Hema. What's a Strange Torpedo? I've never seen this card. Rare, deal 1 damage to a creature with 1 splash. If your opponent is haunted, stun and exhaust each creature damage this way. That's cool. Pretty cool art too. I got Tanjimanji. Catch and Release. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That actually could be huge in this matchup. Catch and Release, saying return each creature to its owner's hand. Each player discards random cards from their hand until they have 6 or fewer cards in hand. So that could be pretty useful, especially if Asobi is going to be able to do some of the Futures Past, Winds of Death type nonsense. It looks like we're going to get started get started with this. Players having a look at their hands. Looks like Asobi is going to be the first player. I imagine, let's see, if you're Asobi, what are some options you're looking for? You can, I feel like you're probably trying, maybe unsurprisingly, going for some Geistoid. Trying to get some junk restoration moving, churning through your deck a little bit. Oh, let's see. There is the Curse of Fertility in Asobi's deck as well, which says treachery, so it enters play under your opponent's control, and at the end of your turn, if you did not play a creature this turn, your opponent gains one. Okay. See how relevant that ends up being.
I'm going to move them, and if I have to do it enough times, you will get a warning. So don't let it go. Good luck, and you may begin.
I could see if I can get the top 8. Let me see. All right, let's see if we can get the actual list of top 8 players. Oh, never mind. Jupiter's got it. Thank you kindly. What did the judge say the warning would be for not playing exhausted cards sideways? That's a great question. To clarify, I can't hear anything from the table, so it will. This is going to be a team. This is going to be a team commentary. Isn't that great? We're all going to be working together. We're going to be working together to make this happen. I've seen a lot of the we've seen a fair bit at the table. The 45, exhausted 45. I never quite got into that. I prefer the full exhaust, the full 90. I want that card to look like it's sleeping. All right, so we do see the Reclaim by Nature. Looks like there's a War Phaline to stuff cards from second X discard pile back up into the the draw pile. All right, what is that? Is that Glimmer Spore you saw there? So Glimmer Spore says, put an artifact from play into your archives if you are not the owner of that artifact. Now it leaves your archives, put it into its owner's hand. Then we got a target to archive something from the discard pile. I get the junk restoration there for Figuring out what to add to hand. Is that way of something? Way of the porcupine? That's probably not what was added to hand, but Winds of Death. Archiving the target.
Oh, sorry.
So definitely not a big hit off of the Winds of Death, but getting a couple of Mars creatures there. Yeah, Martin's sitting right there. Hopefully keeping a close eye on that. Keeping a close eye on this match. Oh, interesting. So, looks like second act is discarding a bunch of creatures. So, I wonder if the goal there is maybe to try and set up the spectral Ruth, or try and prevent. I mean, we've already seen the Winds of Death from Asobi. See the looks like Jammer Pack on Void Prober. Looks like Void Prober.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that good or bad?
What's your current state? My current state.
Oh, sorry.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not one. I am going to call for Unfathomable. I am going to play Strange Torpedo. I'm going to discard
The Strange Torpedo. There it is.
Dark Lamp.
Are they haunted? Looks like Asobi must be haunted. I think Asobi has a little ghost token. It's pretty cute. Second act running out a little bit of unfathomable there. Passing it over to Asobi, who's going to forge for 6 Ember.
I'm going to play Junko to game 1.
Junk Restoration.
I'll take Thought Catcher.
Oh, it's the haunted token from the store champs. Oh, got it. It's a little cute ghost. Does it have 2 sides, or do you just like put it out when you're haunted?
Capture 1. To Thought Catcher. And then I'm going to draw 1 from Thought Catcher.
Okay, cool. 2 sides. I have seen people doing the like putting the haunted card in their discard pile, like sort of like almost exhausted in the discard pile, or perpendicular to the rest of the cards, and then at the 10 card mark. And I think that's actually pretty cool. I think I would like to personally adopt that for myself, because it's easy to see when you're haunted because it sticks out of the discard pile. But it also, like, if cards are removed from there, then it's sort of easy to tell when you're no longer haunted. Oh, it's a tree. It's not a ghost. Oh no, I've seen that one. I was talking about Asobi's. Up to the top left, there's like a little wooden ghost. Yeah, I like the tree too. I have that one. Maybe not as cute as the ghost, but
Discard Circle of Life.
ghost tree. Ooh, so junk restoration discards. I think that was a circle of life and mimicry.
Untip over.
And that circle of life has a capture and a discard pip. It's pretty cool.
So let me archive 2 cards from my discard pile. I'll archive Winds of Death. And Spectre Charge. I'll play Dark Land to capture nothing, touchstone, and your turn.
So it looked like archiving spooky charge, and then I think it was Winds of Death, maybe, off of that in here somewhere. What a like really good card in here somewhere. That is sweet.
Shuffle first. You're allowed to shuffle first.
Hey Dave, welcome in. Yes, they did get streamed, so it was on the stream earlier. I can spoil the results for you if you would like. Otherwise, you can go have a gander. It was a June versus Cat Marrow. Yeah, that Make It So did things. Did things that were pretty cool. Really felt like I needed some sound, like a soundboard. All right, so second act, taking a Mars turn. Let's see, that is, I think, Overclocked Shock Collar. This creature gains after reap, stun this creature and each of its neighbors. It is a creature upgrade. That creature has been upgraded.
I take my archives. I'll play Case Toys. I'm going to reap. I'm going to reap to gain 1 and draw discard 2. Then I will reap to gain 1.
Features passed for Super Winds of Death.
Do it just for the.
Yeah.
Also, since you are a team member,
So we actually, a Canadian player came to our local store championship and played this deck, and I got to experience the turn 1 Futures Past Winds of Death. So that was nice. But then Asobi got to experience after the, well, I shouldn't say turn 1, his turn 1. I think I played like Incubation Chamber anyways, turn 1. Anyways, so then he did Futures Past Winds of Death, and then I followed that up with Knowledge is Power for 17, so that was pretty nice.
You need a shuffle this. No?
no, that's the.
That's the discard that's flipping into my deck. No.
Something that's flipping into your discard.
Oh,
Up
yeah,
gain
yeah.
your discard.
Yeah. So that
Not in
doesn't
the shuffle. This is your new deck.
There is GR counterplay. You heard it here first.
And then I'll play Winds of Death. I draw 2. I gain 2 ammo back.
It was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was just dumb luck on my part. I didn't have. I was just along for the ride, and then I looked down at my hand. I was like, oh, this card seems pretty good. I should play that now.
I will archive everything first.
Yep. And then you're starting. Supposed to verify. No additional creatures. Is this what you got? An archive on your side. What's going to be archive on my side? Can you just show him that you have no creatures left in your discard?
Yep, you're good.
All right, so each player getting to have a hopefully a little archive of creatures.
And that's the end of my turn.
Check it out.
Check at 7.
Definitely haunted.
And so be plugging along with the Ember generation as well. Looks like we've got just 13 raw pips. Raw Ember pips, I should say, in Cecilia. Actually, Plimpton also has 13 raw pips. But there's definitely some value from potentially Circle of Life, the Ironics Rebels, and the Xyloxifrix.
Discard the Argais. Discard their Electro Blast. Then going to play somewhere.
Yes, we Geistoid turn. Was that a looked like a discard of those BR Geist and something else. But then we've got an in here somewhere. So I wonder if that was a discard to get to being haunted. So discarding a couple cards to get to a haunted state, and then in here somewhere. Those not familiar with that says if you are haunted, archive 2 cards from your discard pile. Otherwise, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. So obviously, second act prioritizing getting to a haunted state. The ones that were discarded though were BR Geist. Choose a creature in any haunted player's discard pile. Play that creature. And then, I don't know, what was the other one? Was it may have been Boo or something?
Play Haunting Witch to game 1.
Yep.
Warp Lines to take the top 5 of yours. And game 1. Blue to game 1. Great Pixie to game 2. And Regrowth to game 1. And then Echo Charge for each game.
It looks like regrowth into creatures. We have the haunting witch into 3 untamed creatures, regrowth for an ember, and then key charge.
Break. Mark off your cards here at the table. Just leave them right there. Okay, count is always a good thing. Good job.
Right, so this is a best of 3. I'm going to go update the overlay. Asobi taking down second act in the first game of the match with some solid, just I feel like there's a lot of ember generation there, and yeah, lots of ember generation. Seemed like there's a lot of Geistoid being played. I guess we saw at least, well, I mean, we saw an untamed turn there at the end. There's a Mars turn in there too, so.
Josh, game 1 complete to Asobi. Game 1 complete to Asobi.
All right, so we've got that updated.
So defensively, but potentially one. I'll give you a reasonable no. It's like
So let's see. What's I guess we saw the Island of Misfit Toys come out last time, but then get purged.
just a few minutes. Because when you're playing at this level, your head can get all bungled up, and it's good to get up.
So the Island of Misfit Toys came down early and then got purged. I think that's from Asobi, that's probably best case scenario there, especially considering the the focus on trying to get that futures past to set up that Winds of Death into apparently either Mars or Untamed, and both of them are some really nice options there. Mars having, as I mentioned, the double Aeronix Rebel, double Xyloxifrix, had a distant Void Prober and a target. And then Untamed, also just keeping it to the creatures, we've got Haunting Witch, Loyal Packmate, War Phaline, Grave Pixie, Flumph. So, some nice generation there, especially if between Futures Past and in here somewhere you can pick up something like the Spooky Charge, or even if you follow that up with a Mars turn, uses the target to pick up one of those other key components. Definitely has some nice options there.
So we're like, we got to go back to time. We have to go back.
Why don't you go up to like an hour instead?
Because then it's just arbitrary.
Because I guess it's still 3 hours.
Yes, Asobi won game 1.
It's bad enough at 2 hours, 2 and a, I guess. Yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes. It gets tight.
Let's have a look.
So we just decided if we're gonna impose if we are going to impose a time limit, we should just stick with what the time limit is for everyone.
That's fine. I understand that.
And it was. I'm glad that it happened the way that it did.
Oh, yeah, so Spontaneous Awakening says, if your opponent is haunted, destroy an enemy artifact, cyborg creature, or robot creature. If you do, play that card as if it were in your hand. So it has to be an opponent's, an enemy's artifact, creature, or robot.
Because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't let the decks do what they want to do. But
Like I've seen multiple like Reddit posts, Discord conversations where the current state of competitive KeyForge devalues control decks that are trying to stall and like death.
yeah, but there's a difference because there are decks in KeyForge that can literally just stall you into oblivion.
So I have not yet, but I have a deck I took to Ultra last year, and I was like pretty disappointed in like.
All right, now we had these earlier, but for those that were interested in the top 8 of this, we had Mike Fooney piloting Bandola, Archmage of the Spined Plateau. Drazkor was piloting Arya, Pylon Genius. Luke R. was piloting Pippawoa, Mainframe Lance Corporal. Chimera was piloting Chimera Hammer. Love it. Asobi piloting Cecilia. Southerly Elf piloting Costantino, Ghost Realm's Nanny. Second act piloting Plimpton here. And then Pifankuchin. I apologize for absolutely slaughtering that. Piloting Virus Concurrent de Brefourth.
Yeah, it was just like that time. I was like, I thought about it afterwards, and I think he's purposely stalling because like he was playing.
So these players will be resetting here to play game 2, this best of 3. But been a great event so far. There's lots of great folks here playing some lovely KeyForge. We've got some today. There's I think just a 3-round a 3-round Unchained / Menagerie going on. Hear lots of folks chatting out there and having fun. Thank you, Dave. Pancake. That sounds much easier. I don't want to I don't want to wish ill upon others, but it is a little bit fortunate that they're not here, because I would absolutely destroy their name over and over again, just over and over again. I promise it.
Depends on the deck. It depends on the deck.
It's also because when you
All right, best type of pancakes. What's the best type of pancake?
like actually two,
Or waffle. We could say waffle too.
Essentially,
whereas if you're going first, it's like whatever.
you're going to go first. Draw your hand.
My son had me do some Trix pancakes
Pick up your hands.
last weekend. So like Trix the cereal just mixed into the batter. It was interesting. Banana pancakes. All right, that'll sound good. I'm also a fan of bacon waffles. You just like put the batter in there, then you put the bacon in there. You close the iron. Yep, that's good.
Maybe it's his turn.
Fruity Pebbles pancakes, yeah. I feel like that's actually a better. We didn't have Fruity Pebbles, like Trix and Fruity Pebbles pancakes are probably similar, but I think the texture of Fruity Pebbles pancakes would be better.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Because like the Trix were like big enough that they kind of like stood out, but they also seemed kind of like stale. Maybe they were stale. Who knows? Anyways, let's get back to this game. Thank you for playing this little shower thoughts with Mordovas game. We have a junk restoration first turn from second act.
Dark Lamp, capture 1.
I think that was discarding 2 Mars cards and picking up something else.
Slight display.
Asobi following up with a
Slight display, but it's okay.
with a Geistoid turn. I think the Winds of Death is in hand. So that'll be interesting. See if that gets held onto. I think Asobi just drew into target as well. So like there's probably a nice play there, running out Geistoid again, discarding the Winds of Death, and then using the target to archive it. Second act, tossing down. I think was that Grabber Jammer? Looks like Grabber Jammer and a Mars first to fight that into Daimo. Nope, into Thought Catcher. That's Thought Catcher. And then I would suspect that's the Collar. The overclocked Shock Collar on the Dark Lamp. All right, one more thing while they're thinking. I also love, I've done this a new thing where you do ham and like cheddar in the waffle, and you have like a savory waffle, and then you like dip it in sriracha, and you like have syrup and sriracha. It's really good. Okay, back to the game. Sorry. Terrible teammates. Discard. So discard. I wonder what the discard was. It doesn't look like it was Winds of Death. Oh, I see that. I see that was not. That was not a target. It was Ironic's Rebel. Corned beef and potato mashed patties. Yeah, I mean, I think it's along the same lines. That sounds great. Circle of Life was discard. Okay. Well, I was thinking that Ironic's Rebel was the target, and thought that might be a nice opportunity to bank away the winds of death. All right, so second act, I think that was the Boo. I saw a Boo to move along that discard pile. Currently now haunted. I also see the target in hand in case the Ruth is down there. I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out. Just simply because obviously we didn't see a whole lot from Second Act's deck last game. But Spectral Ruth, you need to forge a key in order for that effect to be useful. So it says if you forged a key this turn, archive your discard pile. And I don't think there are any. There's Ectocharge, but that's also in Geistoid, so not really. That's not going to be. It doesn't. I don't think that's going to get played. I'm sorry. Geistoid. The Spectral Ruth is Geistoid, so we could see an Ectocharge, but the Ectocharge. Yeah, it doesn't reshuffle the pile, so that's actually pretty nice. So you could Ectocharge into the Spectral Roof to really kickstart things. I see it now. I think I see it. I see everything. Okay, I missed something. Futures past. Oh man, that's a. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Long weekend by the time you get here.
We didn't get home till 4 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m.
So, no thank you.
We're out partying all night. I'm gonna play Winds of Death. Everyone's dead.
And here's the Winds of Death.
Forge, I think maybe.
Yeah, that is. I mean, perfect timing for that. Perfect timing. Second act was of course getting into a great position there, having the discard pile so large, working towards getting. Hey, look at we found the Spectral Roof.
Which one do you want to see?
I just want to see this one. Making sure there's nothing left in there that's good.
So second act did get Spectral Ruth into the archives though, so it must have been in the discard pile. Yeah. Or was it a? So I guess you move all the cards first. Is that right? How does this card work? Each player archives each creature from their discard pile. Destroy each creature. Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
Local store made it.
Nice. I actually could make this myself.
Oh yeah, flip the deck so it was in the draw pile. Can it fire next turn though? I don't think second act is even haunted at this point. I don't think the Ectocharge is going to happen this turn. Although they have 6 Ember. I see. The old-fashioned way.
KeyForge, yeah.
Is that how this game works? Y'all keeping me honest. I forgot that there was Ember that was generated. That people generate Ember in this game? Nonsense. All right, so there we go. As
Forge the key this turn, you archive your discard pile. Yeah, of course.
Jupiter, I miss you. I miss you being here. You would have known that right away. I mean, you obviously knew it right away. You just saw it. Okay, cool. So, and actually, that's pretty sweet. The Spectral Ruth has a discard pip, so you can actually discard something, and then it'll immediately get archived.
I was about to say, I'm like, I didn't think she was. Nope.
So that puts puts second act up a key, but staring down to Sobi's absolutely stacked hand. Looks like Sobi's archive is pretty well split, 50-50 between looked like Untamed and Geistoid.
Keep us up
Consequence of having access to so many cards is you just have a whole lot of options. So this will be going to run out some Untamed here, throwing cards all over the place. That Circle of Life netting 3 Ember. Circle of Life have a discard pip? It must. Oh yeah, it has a capture and a discard pip. Got the Haunting Witch. So generating a bunch of Ember. Was it 3 from the Circle of Life, and then another 4 from having played down creatures with the Haunting Witch. All right, second act, taking a Unfathomable turn. Looks like a Covetous Hemo with a discard pip. And then that was... So catch and release with the discard pip here as well. Oh, that's cool. So by discarding those creatures, he is not at risk of. Oh my gosh! Boy, that catch and release is huge. So picking 6 for Cecilia for Asobi to keep, rather. Getting a bunch of Mars stuff. The Haunting Witch looks like it was in there. Looked like it was a pretty even mix of different stuff, which is probably what you'd hope. Oh, nice. Discarding another card and then playing out the Tangy-Mangy. Tangy-Mangy, while your opponent is haunted, their keys cost +3. So forcing a cost of 9, that key should flip. that key should flip. I'm sure they'll work it out. I have faith. That was a War of the Worlds. Destroy all non-Mars creatures. There you go. I got the key. The key has been forged. G's not here. G's not available this weekend. So we got Martin. He's doing a stand-up job. So that Spectral Ruth is back to hand. Did I say Martin? Marcus. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm sorry, Marcus. Yeah, Marcus has been just tearing it up. I think we've got a good, was it for sealed? We had 61. Don't know if that number grew yesterday, if there were some more people that came in on Saturday, but. Yep, CTP and Josh running everything else, just the 3. Just the 3.
No, because I drew.
Okay, you drew?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull my archives.
Okay, so it looks like passing back to second act. That's honestly probably the best thing you can expect if you're second act. The best thing you can hope for if you're second act, because I think a rebel got discarded off of the catch and release, and that really makes that turn less potent with the Xyloxifrix not being able to get activated. Spontaneous Awakening for the Ember. The Island Misfit Toys and passing it back. So we're going to be allowing it untap. Oh my gosh, hit him with the Futures Past again.
Futures past will
That obviously becomes a deck.
oh, sorry.
You did not call taking your archive. Would you
Oh,
allow
yeah,
it
that
or not?
archive should have been picked up beforehand.
Sorry, not.
Can't hear what's happening, but
Did not call it.
I imagine they'll force that to stay there.
You have to call it during choose a house step of the game, and that is the rules, unfortunately. Thank you. Chapter 1, draw 1.
Draw one.
That is
It's a tough lesson to learn, but definitely one to be said about taking your time, especially at the start of your turn, to just think everything through.
you want to see the discard pile before.
Think everything through. Make sure you've worked through your lines.
So we're playing with no takebacks at all?
I will ask the other player if it is within the realm of. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say
Yeah, I think that's yep. that's the right call. It's just it's a lesson hard learned.
top table.
It's a lesson hard learned, but I feel like something like that will really help to solidify.
No takebacks.
I know it does for me at least. Yeah, I still remember the first time I got TMTP'd for 12 Ember. There's a certain darkness in my heart because of it. I can still remember it to this day like it was yesterday. But that I mean that is like that's a big that's a potentially large like a game altering mistake there, because the Futures Past was played. The Winds of Death not able to be played because it was put in the discard, or it was left in the archives, and because there were so few cards in the draw pile when Futures Past was played. Asobi, when drawing his hand, cycles the deck, so flips the deck back over. So now that Winds of Death is just worthless.
Do you want
All right, we have a Don't Believe Your Eyes. Don't Believe Your Eyes while haunted, so that's going to put an Ember on target, looks like. The overclocked shock collar is coming back.
Archon, what?
That's a very grim reminder. That mistake could haunt him. Actually, it did the exact opposite. Technically,
How many you had before the draw? Yep.
I feel like I should start playing decks that have error prone in them. That can I just be like, hey, it's on brand. See, the deck made me do it. There's definitely been a lot of back and forth this game, like a lot of card movement, a lot of flipping, a lot of archiving, but I mean not a huge amount of result at this point. Obviously, both players sitting on one key. Asobi has the board advantage currently right now, but that Xyloxifrix is going to be less useful. And that's a pretty good play, the overclocked shock collar onto the Xyloxifrix. Just a reminder for those who aren't familiar with that card, upgrade, that says, after reap, stun this creature and each of its neighbors. What's going on tonight? Welcome in. I assume Not Tonight just woke up. That's what I would have been sleeping that whole time. Actually, no. How did that target? How did that target get killed?
To ready these guys to discard play one. I'll then pop out their things. And that's the end of it.
Oh, thank you. So there was a fight. That makes sense. Some target on target battle. All right, so looks like we're going to see the Strange Torpedo coming out again. Deal 1 damage to a creature with 1 splash. If your opponent is haunted, stun, and exhaust each creature damage this way. I don't think Asobi is haunted, so it'll just be 1 damage to each of those creatures. And that looks like under pressure. So that Distant Void Prober will be unable to ready after it's used. Some cool potential synergy there with the Strange Torpedo. Are there any other ways to exhaust creatures? I guess you can scrap a Squall Master.
One more time, yeah. So, dead. And then one more, so everyone will die.
And none of them.
I will still draw, yeah.
Right, you still draw those, so you have 1 there and 1 here.
Yeah, so we're into game 2 here of the Archon finals. If you're interested in the Alliance finals, those already happened earlier today. on this same stream. And clearing out the board, that is getting out of a tricky position.
I'll play Untamed.
Trying to have a look here. It doesn't look like Cecilia has a huge amount of Ember, like a key stopping power. We've got like a Jammer Pack, Brain Dart, a couple Thought Catchers, Elder Ghast. So it seems like it wants to just be going fast. Wants to just be going fast.
I'll play Loyal Packmate. Way Up the Porcupine. Blue. Warfaline on yours.
Warfaline to take the top five cards of second X deck into the discard, or into the drop owl. So he discards the spooky charge, not currently haunted.
Check for 6.
I'm going to call Dice Store and pull my Archon. Junk Restoration.
Can play it for an Amber. I don't think it has an Amber on it, is it? Spooky charge does not have an Amber on it. But it could if it were properly enhanced. Oh, the one you play does? It's like at some point I got the a Coda original starter set that came with the learning decks because I wanted to just have those so I could use them to teach stuff. Not that you need them, but they were, easy. And the full moons, or the full moon in it, has an Ember Pip on it, so they must have changed that card.
Junk Restoration.
Okay, so we have Memory Well, purging 3 cards, picking up 3 cards from the discard pile. Junk Restoration. Winds of Death, Covetous Hema. Is that Junk Restoration, or is it just discard 3? Oh, you don't have to put one, though, so it says you may. I think one of them was Winds of Death. No? Whoa, oh, hold on a minute. Let me pull up the right thing. Well, either way, I assume maybe trying to get to the Ecto Charge. I see the Ecto Charge in hand with the Ruth. Got 7 Ember. So plays the Ecto Charge. Very nice. So gains an Ember, up to 8 Ember. That's a pretty healthy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 19. So it'd be 26 minus 19 is 7, right? So minimum of 6, of course. Forges the key. Oh man, it's happening! It's happening! And that gets purged. Spectral Ruth, discarding the last card in hand to archive the entirety of the discard pile. And then drawing all but that might be 2 cards. I don't know. There's probably a way I could math that. There were 19, 20, 21. I don't know. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more than 2. Either way, a lot of cards. Just flip that deck. Just discard pile. I'm just gonna put it right. I'm just gonna put it right here. Okay.
About 14 minutes left in the round, just so you know.
Take my archives.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think Ruth is doing anything at this point. Only one more key to be forged for each player.
Take Lockcatcher. Wins. Yep. You have nothing. No other creatures.
Doctor and
So we see Winds of Death there.
These are all dead. I will then play. I'm going to discard. Oh shit! I should have just done that. Misplaced so hard. Discard.
Yeah, I think they are newer to the game. I had mentioned earlier they actually came to my local store championship this year. They're from Canada. I've experienced this deck firsthand. I think like maybe since Winds of Exchange.
Play future staff.
Ian, oh, that deck. It's all coming back to me now.
Now your turn.
good to shuffle on again.
No, he has one
I
card.
thought card. That's what I thought.
Unless you want me to shuffle one card.
All right, I'm excited to see what second act is going to have going. Second act, I should say, Sobi does still see him within striking distance on a potential untamed turn, although I think he might be hunted. What can you do with the whole deck, I wonder?
Overclock shot caller on there.
Okay, looks like we're taking a Mars turn. The overclocked shot collar coming down. I would imagine that we'll see the grabber jammer. Maybe grabber jammer jammer pack. That would be nice. Add some taxing, just to try and prevent that spooky charge.
I'm going to play Mars first. Fight in there.
Got a Mars first to ready and reap. Ready and fight. Okay. I guess not wanting that to be put into the archives.
Guard, Brash Grabber.
It's like a brash grabber. 2 brash grabbers. A grabber jammer. I'm discarding all of those. I see. I wonder, trying to get to be haunted.
Nope, not haunted.
Cool. I like it. Or was that putting damage on it? What was that? I thought that was a don't believe your eyes.
Scarred Jammer pack. Now I'm haunted. Other don't believe your eyes.
There it is. Okay.
Do you want to give me 2? Yeah, keep playing. Keep going.
Play Red Death.
The Red Death. Mars first.
Gaining Amber. Red Death readies. Fights in there.
It's going to fight. Going to capture a bunch of ember. Draw a card and generate an ember. Then he was haunted. Okay. Definitely makes the task a bit more tricky for Asobi. On check. On check with 7 for final key for second act. Let's see what type of outs Asobi might have. I think he's haunted. It looks like the token is on the haunted side. So I think there's a circle of life there. So it could generate, let's see, at least 3 there. Another option would be increasing the key cost. That would require, let's see, make sure I have the right one clicked. Mimicry could copy one of the
I'll play Mars.
could copy one of the Don't Believe Your Eyes.
I'll play Target. Archive a card. Oh, archive.
All right, target archives. Jammer pack. Do both players have jammer pack? Yeah, they do.
Play Iron X Rebel. To ready your doctor at the end. Discarding probe, you'll capture one from yourself. I will then run target into him. To archive. No, I don't archive.
The Xyloxifrix,
Doctor.
the Rebel to ready the target.
Target will come and play.
Two on target.
Target will come and play ready. I archive a card. I will archive.
So it does hold off the key. Looks like that's going to happen. Capturing some member onto the Xyloxifrix. So that's a double capture pipped Xyloxifrix. Double capture pipped Xyloxifrix.
Fight target into him. Then I will play Iron X Rebel to ready these guys. 12, 9, so I can do 2. Okay, so I'll run Iron X into him.
Oh man, we're in a rule of 6 situation here.
I will Doctor. Bring back Iron X Rebel. Ready everybody. How many more Iron X do I have?
You have one more.
Okay. I'll discard 2 more doctors. 2 more doctors.
And that Rebel has a discard pip. That's handy.
So useless then. I will doctor. One. I will bring back doctor. So it's 1 more doctor.
More doctor.
Yep. 1 more doctor. And then
There's the second. Yeah, I would assume they're tracking.
and that's my final doctor, which I will bring back target. Comes in play ready. He lets me archive a card. I'll archive Haunting Witch.
Archives the Haunting Witch. That's a big piece right there. That is a big piece.
I'll read twice. Archiving this guy. And check for 6. And I can't read this one. And then that is my turn.
You good? Minutes 15 left in the game.
How you feel?
Dice Toy.
Target.
Run the archive.
Definitely, definitely a big shift there. Manages to pull second act off check, and generate 6 ember.
Me or you?
Yours.
Oh, there it was. Oh, it was a boo. Ooh, boo, and sees the spooky. So so second act knows that spooky is not accessible to Asobi right now. Yes, second act second key was to an ecto charge.
Well of memory. Pershing. Under pressure. You're forgetting. Squall Master.
So we have the Well of Memory coming down. Gonna return some more Geistoid cards. And it presumably has a dark lamp. Oh, Veil of Ectoplasm too. dark lamp. I assume this is for the BR Geist.
Time. So he's going to get this turn. You'll get one more turn.
Would have been pretty big to be able to BR Geist the Haunting Witch.
Nobody has a plurality of keys. We'll go to the tiebreakers. Tiebreakers are each player gets a chance to forge a key at 6, with no modifiers in the middle causing anything. If nobody has the majority of keys, we're going to go to the most amount of amber. If nobody has the most amount of amber, if everybody's tied, it's go to chains, then creatures in play, and finally whoever wins first, which in this case is John. So, you may finish your last turn.
Time was called on the match. Oh, snap. Oh, it's my bad. I was like, there's a mimicry. No, it's got to be a creature. 45 minutes. At least that's what they've been doing for the other rounds. $35? Okay, I lied. I have no idea. As I mentioned previously, I'm just locked in this room. I thought it was 45. Now, second act still gets to run this turn out, though. And then Asobi will have one more turn. Spooky Charge is currently in the discard pile.
This Virgin key stuff is affected by key cost.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if there might be something to be said. I think, is that Distant Void Prober in Asobi's discard pile? I wonder if that would, well, maybe if, I mean, obviously, firstly, he has to take Asobi off check. So that's the most important part. But I wonder if the Distant Void Prober could have been a good pick, too, just to prevent some Xyloxifrix, whatever that card is, Rebel nonsense. No, so one was captured onto the Thought Catcher. I think that, yeah, it's a Thought Catcher. Yeah, I think must be the Thought Catcher. There might be one with. There's one in the deck that has a draw and an.
And they go, the in here somewhere goes to the top.
Yeah, but Admiral, they don't. Asobi doesn't have the key charge or the spooky charge. It's in their discard pile. Welcome in, Joni. They are in game number 2. It has just gone to time. Second act is I guess the first player then. So he's currently finishing his turn. Time was called on. Asobi will get a turn, and then the second act will get a chance to forge a key. passes check with a lot. I think there's still a lot left in Mars here. Can generate a lot of Ember, and assuming that Distant Void Prober is still in the discard pile, can actually increase key cost quite a bit.
Fight into Darkland.
So I think that's the Jammer pack. Asobi won first game, so second act is on the ropes currently. Yeah, looks like he's going towards the Void Prober. So that'll come out into play. Yeah, so now there's 2 Xyloxifrixes ready. We've had, what, 2 activations so far? I don't think he needs to. He brings back the Void Prober right now with 1. So there's been 3 activations of the Rebel so far. Well, it depends. So Distant Void Prober is +3. So it's going to be +3, and then it's going to get a Reap off the Xyloxifrix to bring another.
3 uses on the Rebel, 3 uses on the Doubter.
I'll fight the Rebel.
Oh, it's unimpeded though? Isn't it still at current cost? What's up, Nick? How's it going, my man? You don't think it's enough? Okay. I trust y'all. Your judgment is better than mine. Let's see, there's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11.
5 plus 6 is 11. How many do you have?
Hi, Sky Jedi. Yeah, so it's still within the normal constraints, right? So it's already +3. So it's +3. It can reap again, right? So that'd be plus another 3. Puts the key cost up to 12. The Rebel can fight and then be called back again by the Xyloxifrix. And then at least 1 more Void Prober. Luke, I'm going to come after you. He's my KeyForge progeny. Anything he's responsible for is because I taught him how to play KeyForge. His hair is way cooler than mine, by the way. Amber Medes. way. It's just so much more volume.
Yep. I will reap to game 1. You will no longer forge. I will then.
Took my pebble and went next level. All right, so yeah, I think the key's out, right? The key's stopped, or should be stopped.
I need him. Okay, so.
The question will be how much amber does second act end with? I should say, so, well, both of them, right? Because it will then go to forge a key, and then how much amber is left over. I mean, to me, it seems like Asobi's going to get it. Why, when you can fight? I still remember. Nick, I still remember your KFC, Brob Narsic. That thing was sweet.
Cost modifiers. Nobody has a plurality of keys. We go to remaining amber in pool. We go to least amount of chains. We go to most amount of creatures. And finally, whoever went first.
And how many more doctors do I have?
You have 2 more uses.
Came out of retirement for that nonsense.
So what I'm actually going to do then is
Do you have a KeyForge art,
and you are at 12
All I
Nick?
can say is that
Like,
currently
to my understanding, you haven't been playing KeyForge, but I swear one of the new arts that I saw had your likeness on it.
game 1. I'll bring back our next rebel over here to ready these guys. And I'll arbitrarily discard a card. And then I will double reap to put me at 13. Again, man.
congratulations.
That was crazy. You played really well.
Sobi is our winner.
Okay. Excellent.
All right. Well, I guess that looks like the end.
Also, well done, Sigma Quail.
Looks like Asobi takes it. 2
That was a very good game.
2-0 to second act. Definitely hard fought battle. Hard fought battle that I mean both rounds, but really cool to see second act's deck actually do what I think he was hoping it would do. Congrats to Asobi, piloting Cecilia, error-prone grounds professor. Makes me feel a lot better that I lost to him at the store championship back in Michigan. There is no living with him now. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I got to see what's happening next here. I know that is the end of our Archon tournament. Asobi taking that down in the finals. Best of 3. So Canadians won Sealed and Archon. Canadians OP.
Oh yeah, that would be bad.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna step out just for like a couple minutes here, and I'm gonna just check with Josh, see what the plan is there, see if I should be shutting things down, or if they wanna do something else. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I've been wanting to do this. We'll bring out our main man. Just leave that right there. Pull up the commentators. Yeah, just vibes right there. You can just vibe with Bones Malone's here. I'm gonna go double check, see what Josh is thinking, and then be back to update y'all. And if things are closing out, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll see what's next. I assume it's it. I'm not sure if they're going to want to do the award ceremony and stuff. So, if y'all are leaving, I'll at least say thank you for checking in and being interested in KeyForge. Thank you for Ghost Galaxy for putting the event on. Thanks for all the players for coming, making a good event out of it. And I should have been talking with my hand just on Bones Malone's the whole time. All right, I'll be right back. All right, Bones, did you tell him all the secrets? All right, so I just chatted with Josh, and we are indeed going to wrap things up here. I think they're going to be getting going with the award ceremony out there, handing out prizes and stuff like that. So again, thanks to Millennium Games for having the event here, hosting the event here. Thanks to Ghost Galaxy for putting on another lovely event. Thanks to the players for coming out and making a great event out of it. There was a lot of fun to be had, a lot of great games that KeyForge played, and a lot of laughs and a lot of fun conversations and hangs happening. And also, thank you to you for hanging out and being interested in KeyForge. Hopefully, we will see you in the next stream, and hopefully we'll see you around wherever you play KeyForge. But until now, thanks for being awesome, and we'll see you later. Later.